Okay, hi guys. This is Madeline again. I am currently in the Detroit airport. I am holding my phone to my face like I'm talking on the phone because I don't want people to know that I'm recording a podcast. So this is my life now. This is who I am. But anyways, I've been waiting here for I don't even know how long. It's been a long time. I've been waiting at the Detroit airport at a layover for let's see. We got here around 1, and then we got here around 1 or 2, and then we're leaving for our flight at 7:30. So it's been a good 6 hours. But other than that, honestly, I've kept myself more busy than I thought I'd be able to. I have been reading a new book that I have. It's interesting. It's a feminist theory book about vegetarianism and feminism, which I didn't expect those two to correlate. But I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm totally sold on it yet. I mean, I'm only 5 pages in, so who knows? But yeah, I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll keep on reading and find out. I don't know if I'll be able to read on the plane though, because hashtag motion sickness. I have a Dramamine, and so I went from Columbus to Detroit, which was technically an hour or 2 flight, but it literally felt like 10 minutes. And then from there, so now we're at the Detroit airport, and then from there we're flying to Amsterdam, and then from there I'm going to be flying to Florence. And so the Amsterdam flight is 8 hours, and then we have a 4-hour layover in Amsterdam, and then we're going to be and then we'll have a 2-hour plane ride to Florence. But I think that honestly, the layovers, they're annoying, but honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think that I'd rather have extra time than be late. Sorry for saying a lot. When I don't know what to say, we just throw a few extra likes in there because it makes life easier. But anyways, yeah, so I'm most nervous about this 8-hour flight, but I've never been on a plane ride that was probably much more than I would want to say 4, and that's a generous estimate. But sorry, I opened something with my face, but it's okay. We're back. Anyways, so Amsterdam, sorry. The flight is 8 hours, so I'm a little bit nervous about that, just hoping that I won't get nauseous. But we're thinking the first plane we took had some pretty, not the worst turbulence I've ever felt, but it was we were fishtailing, going off, taking off, which was pretty, I don't know, it wasn't scary, but I was okay, this is happening. And then because we were down so low, I think that the turbulence was just kind of worse. But anyways, so that kind of sucked. But I'm hoping, because that was a smaller airplane than the 8-hour airplane, I'm hoping that the turbulence will be a lot less, because the airplane's bigger, and once it gets higher up in the sky, hopefully the wind, stuff like that, won't be as bad. Yeah, so I don't know, we're just hoping. So basically in my time when we touch down, it'll be 4 a.m, but for their time it'll be 10 or so. So I have to get ready for that time difference. I'm just hopefully gonna just sleep on the plane. That's the plan, just sleep on the plane, whatever. I have a lot of stuff on Netflix downloaded. I have my dumb butt put on telenovelas that are in Spanish that I can technically put English subtitles on, but if I want to try to fall asleep, I can't fall asleep and listen to a story with English, or if it's in Spanish. I mean, I could probably understand it, but brain work is required when translating. So I'm not really sure about how that's going to go. So I downloaded 8 episodes of a telenovela called Las Chicas de Cable, which I know it sounds so much better if you say Las Chicas del Cable, but I was talking to my Spanish professor and she was LOL, no, it's cable. So it kind of just ruins my flow, but it's fine. Anyway, so that's a Netflix produced telenovela, and they have 8 more episodes of a new season, and I absolutely love the last season. They have 2 main characters who are the main characters in another telenovela that I watched while I was in high school, with my professor and I guess teacher at that point, and it was called Internado, and it's really good. If you would like to watch it, I would highly suggest it. It's really good. But anyway, so these 2 main male characters are also on Las Chicas de Cable, so it's really exciting to see them and how their acting has matured. They're not the same characters, but just the same actors, which is pretty dang cool if you ask me. I really, really like it. And so yeah, so I have 8 episodes of that, and then I also have 3 episodes of a new telenovela called El Hotel de los Secretos, so the Hotel of Secrets, and then El Internado was just basically, it was basically just the name of like a private school, and then the Hotel of Secrets is the other one that I just started watching and I downloaded just if I wanted a new flair of something new, but yeah, I'm not sure if that one if I'll actually end up listening to that one or watching that one. But yeah, so I have that, and then I did put on some English ones, thank God. But I have one like movie, Big Eyes, with Amy Adams, so that should be really good. I haven't actually seen it yet, but it looked really good, and I've been wanting to see it for a while. So honestly, I might just watch that as soon as I get on the plane, unless I want to watch the telenovela first to make sure I don't run out of brain power. That might be good too. Who knows? And so yeah, and so I have Big Eyes, and then there was like some like informative ones. Like I have downloaded like 2 episodes of Conspiracy, which is a Netflix original, I think, and one is on like Hollywood, and then the other's on Aliens. So I'm excited about those 2. And then the other 2 I have are I think they're about like the food industry. And so I am currently a vegetarian, and I don't have a super big urge to go vegan, but I think that there's like information out there that I don't know that would maybe convince me to want to try to be vegan. And so I downloaded a one on how poultry is raised and how beef is raised, or poultry and then cows. So yeah, so that'll be good. Just looking through those. Sorry, I get so distracted. Like I saw a dog walking by and all words left me because it's a cute freaking dog. But yeah, so I have a lot of stuff downloaded, and then of course podcasts. I have what do I have downloaded? For my podcast, I have, gosh, what's it called? Wooden Overcoats, which is about like a family-owned business that's a funeral home, and it's like on like a little island called Piffling Vale. So there's that, and then I also have, oh gosh, I think it's called like. Oof, I'll have to look back and figure out what that one's called. But I also have some episodes of Tanis downloaded, I think, which is just kind of like a sci-fi mystery kind of thing. And then like I think so the one I was just talking about, I think it's called Disappeared or like something. I don't know. It's got like a bunch of big movie stars in it, but I'll try to figure that out. But it's really good. It's been canceled already, but it's really good, and there's like 2 seasons of it. But yeah, so those are really good. So honestly, I'm just looking for any way to pass the time, but we're hoping sleep is the number 1 priority. I was reading while I was here because I don't think I'll be able to read on the plane. But yeah, emotion check-in. I'm feeling okay. I was doing really good this morning. Not like super excited, but just like mellow. And then I think my mood just kind of went down a little bit just while I was reading, because I was like, like I just was kind of stressed after the flight coming here, and so I didn't really want to talk to a lot of people, but a lot of people were like super social, and I was just kind of getting down on myself, like, why aren't you being social? But it was just because I was exhausted, and looking back, I'm like, it's fine, you had to do what you had to do. But yeah, people were talking and keeping up, and I think it would be different if I didn't already have 2 of my best friends here with me. I think that in some ways it's like a blessing and a curse, because I think I won't get out of my bubble of friends as much, which honestly for my first time abroad I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, but I'm still gonna definitely try to push myself to meet new people, and I think that'll happen mainly during my classes, because I don't think I have classes with any of them. But yeah, so I didn't really like feel like a super big urge to have to like make a bunch of friends like from people on the flight. But speaking of new people, I will have roommates. So there's going to be, I mentioned this before, I think, but I have 7 roommates in my apartment. So I know 4 of them, and then the other 3, we don't know who they are. So maybe, hopefully they'll be good. I'm sure they'll be nice. It really takes a lot for someone to annoy me. You have to be either, bigoted or, just inconsiderate or rude or something. But it takes a lot for someone not to get on my bad side, but that's fine. But yeah, so I've been pacing up and down this little walkway forever, and people are kind of looking at me. So I probably will end this fairly soon. But yeah, we're trying to keep up and about because Factor V Leiden is I'm like heterozygous, so it basically means that I have like a mutation in one of my genes. And it basically means that it's easier to get blood clots. And so that is why I'm trying to walk around, because I need to get up every few hours on the flight, and that's going to kind of suck because I'm in the middle row. I was really hoping that I would be on an outside edge, so I think I'm just going to try to finesse my way to an outside edge. I'm just going to like mention to the person beside me, be like, hey, by the way, I'm going to have to get up every few hours or so. So like, unless you want to have to move every few hours, like we could switch and I'd be fine with that. But, you know, we'll find out. I might lose my guts, lose my nerve. Just grow a pair of ovaries, Madeline. You've got this. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think for the most part, that's like the main things. Like all the people who I've met so far are super sweet, super nice. Oh, Sarah, so when we got on the plane was so small that they were like, yeah, we can't even handle having everyone's carry-on luggage, which was freaking ridiculous. So poor Sarah, my roommate, had to like check one of her bags in, and I was just really lucky where I was like, frick, like I take a lot of medications, and all my medications were in that bag, and my backpack was stuffed to the brim, so I knew I wouldn't be able to fit anything else in it. So I was like, well, shoot. And I also had, you know, stuff like contact solution and glasses and all this like necessary stuff for me to survive the plane ride. And so I was like, shoot, so they were saying they needed to check bags, and so Sarah just grabbed a few things out of her bag, stuffed them in her backpack, and was like, okay, this is gonna have to be good enough. And I was like, and so I was basically like, no, like this is gonna have to work. And so basically I am freaking out the whole way back. Like my seat was number 17, so I had to walk like a pretty far way back to my seat, and I'm freaking out the whole way because everyone else doesn't have as many bags as I do, and I'm like stressed because I'm like, I need to make sure I have I need to make sure that there's enough room on this plane for me to be able to put my stuff. And but yeah, so basically I get all the way back there, and I'm so lucky because the woman at the front desk is like, I don't know, you might not be able to fit it, like if not, just come back out and we'll give you a tag. And I was like, frick, like I really freaking hope that doesn't happen. That would fucking suck. And so I got really lucky. Like I went, and the person who sat next to me seemed very nice. I didn't talk to her. I usually talk to the person next to me a little bit more, but it was such a short flight, I didn't really talk to her at all. But she was just really nice, and so it was pretty chill. And so I went to put my bags down, and I was like, oh, sorry, I'm just gonna get down and dirty here, you know, trying to shove it under the seat in front of me and then under my seat. And luckily it was a godsend. Flight attendant was like, hey, by the way, like, she's like, do you want me to put it up here? Like I have like a place like up here in an overhead compartment. And I was like, dear God, yes, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, like I really appreciate it. Like I didn't want to have to check my bag. She was like, yeah, like it's fine. And so yeah, so I got really stinking lucky. But yeah, and so like for the plane ride, like I went and I took out all my meds, so I know what I need to take, you know, at the end of the flight for my morning meds, and then at the end of the flight for my night meds, which just help me fall asleep, which will hopefully be good. I'm hoping that they'll be strong enough to knock me out. They probably will be. I'm usually pretty asleep by then. But yeah, so we're hoping for the best. Everything's going to be fine. Our plane wasn't delayed. They said that there was some inclement weather in Amsterdam, so I was like, frick, like I don't want to have to, and I keep on saying frick because there's a lot of kids around. Otherwise, I would be my wonderful uncensored self, but we're a little censored right now, and that's fine. We're considerate. But anyways, and so the inclement weather, and I was like, shoot, because like our kind of chaperone person was like, by the way, like just a warning, like this might change. And I was like, frick, like I really, I'm like, I want to get going as soon as possible, because, you know, like nerves building up, and at that point I hadn't eaten yet, so I was a little bit cranky and grouchy. It's amazing what a world of difference food makes. Like I know that, you know, in the moment it's like, no, these feelings are real, and then afterwards you're like, no, I was literally just hungry. Like why was I in such a bad mood? I was literally just hungry. Which is fine. But yeah, so anyways, but luckily she's like, so far, we're gonna, you know, knock on wood, knock on my head for that one. We're gonna hope that nothing happens with that. So far, it hasn't been canceled. So far, we're A-okay to go. So yeah, we're really gonna hold faith and, because, you know, if it was inclement weather, you know, a storm doesn't last for 8 hours. Like, it shouldn't, like, that doesn't happen. It's not that big of a deal. Unless there's, like, an apocalypse happening in Amsterdam, which is what our chaperone was saying. But yeah, anyways, so, again, I am learning a little bit more day by day about Italiano and Italia. So, I don't know. I think, you know, the one thing that, you know, so I've just been talking with friends, and I think, like, the biggest thing is that, like, tap water is kind of hard to get, so, like, that's going to be interesting, and, like, a lot of times the water is more, like, bubbly. It's, like, sparkling water, and you have to, like, specifically ask for tap water, and tap water isn't free, so it's funny because usually, like, might be cheaper to get wine than water, which, of course, their wine, which is another thing I learned today, is that their wine is a little more potent than ours is, so it might be a little bit more intense to get down. And for someone who hasn't drunk before, that might be a little bit of a problem. So we might just be forking over a little bit of cash for some water. But Sarah said that basically the water is so pure that you can, like, literally just take it out of, like, a falling fountain. So I'm pretty excited. Like, that'll be so cool. It's so pretty. I just need to, I was getting a little, you know, like, what am I doing here feelings and a little bit homesickness, but yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. We're gonna see how it is when I go on the plane. I've been pacing, so we're just trying to walk around and get the blood flowing as best as possible. But yeah, we're still Italian known. Who knows? Maybe eventually I'll be Italiano, but right now I'm Italian known. Anyways, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later. Bye.